Hey everybody, this is AShadowboxsFSX here with my good friend Dr. Vesuvius.
Hello there, thank you for having me here.
Oh, not a problem, it's my pleasure. And today we are bringing you some multiplayer farming simulator on the Spring Hill Farm map by NI Modding. A link to that will be in the description. So, Dr. V, we've got some fields that need harvesting. I think we should get on that.
Well, where are all the workers who are going to do all the work for us? I can't see anyone. There must be someone around here, to do all the hard work.
I could have sworn I hired somebody. I'm not seeing them though. You think they had a sick day?
Must have.
Alright, I guess that means we're stuck doing the work ourselves for now.
Well, I've never worked a farm in my life, and I haven't the faintest idea what needs doing. So I'm going to be at the mercy of your instructions here. You're going to have to tell me what we need to do.
Alright, well, I can do that. I guess first we should check to see what kind of crops we even have. Just looking at the data in the pause menu. We've got a field of wheat and a field of barley that are both owned by us and ready to be harvested. So, what we're going to need to do is find the harvester, first of all. Grab that, bring it to a field, grab the tractor with the trailer to unload the harvester, and then we should be set from there.
Okay, well, I think there is a harvester on the farm somewhere.
Yeah, I believe there is. I just think it's on the other side of the farm, like down by the sheep. Yeah, it is. I could go grab the harvester if you like.
Okay. What do you want me to do while you're doing that?
If you want to jump in the tractor and hook up to the front weight and to the trailer, and then meet me at the field of wheat, so field 15.
Okay, I'll give that a try. Tractor. Now, if I was a tractor, where would I be? Yeah, you're tractor shaped, right?
Alright. I have to go around the pond. But luckily this is a pretty beautiful map. And NI Modding does some of my favorite work.
It really is a nice map, I have to say.
And I am getting a steady 30 frames a second, so I am quite happy with my recording software fix. Hopefully we'll be seeing a return of Flight Simulator to the channel soon.
Cool. I've actually just dismantled my steering wheel and reset up the flight controls to do some flight sim stuff.
Neat. What do you use for your flight sim stuff? I know you've got the racing wheel for your Euro truck.
Well, normally I use a CH Products yoke setup. But for the moment I've actually just set up a joystick, Speedlink Black Widow, because I'm going to be doing some flights with like a fighter aircraft. And I think a joystick is more suitable for fighters than a yoke.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I've been wanting to get a yoke myself. On the college student budget though, so
they're not very cheap, I have to say. I got very lucky with oh, hello.
Hello.
Which way you would be going?
I'm actually just gonna crash through the hedge because I'm a harvester and the hedge can't do nothing about that. So
I'll follow you then.
Alright.
Yeah, I got lucky with an eBay purchase, which is the only way I could afford one, to be honest.
Yeah, that's smart. I haven't really looked on eBay for it. If you want to drive next to me, the the harvester will actually unload into the trailer while we're moving.
Okay.
I know I just kind of started in the middle of the field, but I figured why not.
Ooh. Might be scratching some paint here.
Don't worry, we'll buff it. We'll buff it out. Yeah.
Can't catch up with you.
I think
Where's cruise control?
Cruise control 4 is the level you want to use in a tractor when you're driving next to a harvester, I believe.
Let's try that. Pro gaming skills. Look at this.
I've just disattached my harvester head. Whoops.
We noob.
I missed the W key slightly. Alright, we're moving again. But yeah, I don't know, I think this series should be pretty interesting. What do you think, Doc?
If we can actually survive the first day without crashing into each other. There we go. So we'll just get it right by the end of the field. Look at that.
Yeah. And it is a whoop. It is a bit tedious, you know, in the beginning stages of the farm, but once we can afford some nicer equipment and things will start moving and be a bit more interesting. All right. You want to go left or right?
I
should probably...
Yes. One or the other.
All right. I should probably not drive in the river though. That's probably not good for the harvester.
Yeah, I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Alright.
Look, I'll tell you what, if you go on the next leg and I'll try and come up alongside you. So.
What's funny is with a lot of the harvesters, like if you center yourself on like the straw that I left behind, that's usually a good separation distance between the tractor and the harvester.
Right. I'll try and aim for that. Okay. I'm keeping pace with you, but not in the right position. Let's try now. Hey, we got it.
Yes. Now we look almost like professionals.
So here we are, driving up and down in a straight line.
I don't know, I think the fields on this map are shaped pretty interestingly too, you know. It's not just rectangles and squares. Got some nice interesting shapes.
That's very much like the British countryside.
Yeah, I've always wanted to...
Which way are you going to go?
I'm just going to keep going on this side here.
I'll come around behind.
Alright. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Britain, or Great Britain, but never really had the opportunity to. At least not yet.
Okay, let's see if I can...
Gonna nudge you out of the way there.
No worries. Ouch. Oops. Sorry. Ramming speed.
All good. It's just a combine jousting simulator now.
Oh dear.
I don't know, do you follow the channel Nerd Cubed at all?
I've seen a couple of his videos. I don't follow him.
He did a special video on Farming Simulator with Into Littlewood, you know, from the Yugs cast.
Oh yes.
And yeah, they had a little bit of combine jousting going on.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it? Just
No,
driving two vehicles side by side like this.
not really, especially if you're, if you've never really played a game similar to this before. I assume you'll be much better with the trailers than I, with, Euro Truck and everything.
A little bit more practice with it, but okay.
Yeah, I got Euro Truck when it was on sale, um, but my computer doesn't run it very well, let alone record and run it very well, so I tend not to play it very much.
Okay. It's another of those games that I don't think anyone really understands why it's so popular, but it's just so much damn fun.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, back in the day I played 18 Wheels of Steel, which was it? I think it was made by the same company, like,
I think it was, yes.
um, which is basically, for those of you who don't know, it's basically Euro Truck Sim, but in America, and not as good.
Well, have you heard they've now announced American Truck Simulator?
Yeah, I'm actually
That's-
looking forward to that.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
I don't know, something about the, maybe it's just because what I, grew up seeing, but I personally, I prefer the American style of semi-truck with, like, the big nose with the big engine in front instead of the cab over. But, yeah.
I think some of it for me is the sort of the romance of the different, because we're so used to seeing the European cab over style trucks here. Whenever we see sort of an American long nose, it's like, wow, this is something special.
Yeah. My grandfather was actually a truck driver.
All right.
So I got to, like, go with him on a few short hauls on occasion. It's pretty neat.
Well, I have a friend who he wasn't a truck driver. Oops, sorry again.
No
He
worries.
was ouch. Concentrate on driving. There we go. Oh, anecdotes later. There we go. Yeah, he wasn't a driver. He was a driver's mate. Basically, they were doing deliveries from a mail order firm, and my friend was basically responsible for planning the routes and doing all the paperwork and helping sort of unload and load. And unfortunately, one time they actually let him try driving, and he kind of overturned the truck.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so apparently there was a memo went out saying this man is never allowed to drive one of our trucks again.
Yeah, my grandfather did that. That's actually why he retired. But yeah, he bent down to get something that fell on the floor, and when he got back up, he jerked on the wheel a little too hard. And that's not very good when you're driving something that can tip over pretty easily.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah, so the way I heard it, the company politely asked him to retire.
Oops. After you.
Yep, I'm just, for some reason my cruise control didn't want to respond. There we go.
Have
Now-
you sorry, go on.
Alright, now all this stuff that we're...
Oh.
Whoops.
I lost my trailer.
All this stuff that I'm leaving behind, we can actually bale up into hay bales, and we can sell them. They don't sell for very much, but we can sell them, and eventually we can use them to feed cows and stuff like that.
Oh, excellent.
Um,
Right.
But we have two choices to utilize it now. We can either sell some of the crop that we already have, and buy the baler, or we could just save our money for now and ignore it and pick it up later.
Do you think we're going to be able to afford a baler?
I think so, yeah, because we're given some starting crops. Like, we already have 17,000 liters of almost everything in storage. So, I mean, that's quite a bit of money. The baler that I had in mind is only about 25,000. So
we should be able to afford that with a couple of crops.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you about to say?
I can't remember. It can't have been important. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you, what are your controls set up with? Are you using a joystick for this?
Oh no, I'm just using key and mouse.
Alright, same here. I've had terrible trouble trying to get anything set up, whether the wheel or joystick or yoke with this.
Dare Tebbers, are you familiar with this channel?
I am indeed, yes.
I believe he uses a gamepad, like an Xbox controller or something. It seems to work nicely for him.
Ah.
But, and I believe the game actually supports, Xbox or off-brand controllers. But for me personally, just, like, the mod vehicles especially add so many extra functions that you can't possibly map them to a controller. So I just prefer using mouse and key. So yeah, YouTube, how we're going to upload these episodes, the odd episodes will be on my channel, and the even episodes will be over at Dr. V's channel. So why don't you head over to his channel and subscribe to him if you want to keep up with the series, and he has some excellent content that he produces as well. Currently he's got Sunday Driver with Euro Truck Simulator going on, which is always interesting to see. And you got any more series coming up, Doc?
Well, I'm planning on resurrecting the Sir, You Are Being Hunted series. If you remember, that was like a sneaker simulator.
Yeah, the robots are taking over.
That's the one.
Yep.
And as I said, I do have plans to get some more flight simulator content back on the channel sooner rather than later. I've got a rather big adventure which I've kind of been planning for ages, which let's just say it involves all the Orbex scenery that I got recently.
Ooh,
I'll leave it at that. But it's going to be a big adventure flight, probably over several episodes.
Excellent. And I definitely recommend that you guys head over to Dr. V's channel and subscribe. He's got excellent, high-quality content, and you can tell he spends a lot of time on it, so always worth to see what he's coming up with.
And honestly, I'm not this bad a driver most of the time.
Oh man, you would just own me at Euro Truck if there was a way to do multiplayer.
Right, let's see if I can do this right. Oh no! Oh. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
It's stuff like that makes multiplayer fun, though.
Right. It's there we go.
So, Doc, what I'm thinking that we could do is save up some of our money and buy a windrower, which is basically like a big rake, and it'll get several of these rows I'm producing and rake them into one row. And one of us could drive with the windrower and, like, you know, condense all this stuff, and the other person can drive behind with the baler and bale it all up, and that'll definitely save some time.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Um, However, that does mean we need to buy another tractor and a windrower. So, we might have to, save our money for a little while. Though, some of the mod
Okay.
tractors are pretty good and pretty cheap, so we could look into some of those.
Well, you're my farming expert. I'm just the driver.
Oh, come on, give yourself a bit more credit than that. I mean, it takes everyone a little bit to get into a new game, and you are, a relatively new player. So,
Well, I've been through all the tutorials, but that didn't have anyone for me to ram into, so I was okay with those. Right, let's see if we can do this time. Come on. It's time for the win. Oh, look at that. Just a bit too far
oh,
out.
I think your trailer's full.
Ah, right. So where do I go?
Back at the main farm, there should be like a grate in the ground. If you drive the trailer over that, you should be able to unload it by pressing Q. I'm not
Right.
exactly sure where it is in the farm, but it should be there somewhere.
I
Probably.
think I remember seeing one. I'll go looking for it. Oh, here it is. In this like silo barn.
Yeah, I had a feeling it would be near there.
So if I go. Okay. I park over the grates. Queue to unload.
Yep, you should have a little unload symbol appear.
Yep, it's going.
Excellent.
Right. So I shall come out and join you.
I'm on my way back down now, so... Oh, hello.
Oh, where are you? Up there, right. Watch as I seamlessly slide into position alongside you.
Alright, have a go. Ooh. Perfect.
Hey, almost. I'll tell you one thing. Aren't you glad we decided to do this in Farm Simulator rather than in Flight Simulator?
Oh my word. Oh man.
That would have been
Well,
a short video.
Flight Simulator would undoubtedly be a blast. It's rather a pain to get set up in multiplayer at the moment.
Yep, I think it's definitely still doable though.
Yeah, I just wish that GameSpy was still around. It wasn't the best service, but it was the service for Flight Simulator. And I think it's just a shame that Microsoft has stopped developing flight simulators altogether.
It really is. It's a shame what happened with Flight, to be honest. It caught a lot of flack for being more gamey than sim.
Yeah, and when your audience is primarily simulators, you're not gonna do too well with a gamey title.
But to be fair, I think their heart was in the right place.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they were trying to bring the next generation of simmers into the hobby.
yeah, and I kind of wish that they had done that as like a side project instead of as a main project, though. You know what I mean? Like like focused on the simulation and then had like the game aspect as like a side feature.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, it was a beautiful game and it had some pretty good mechanics, but kind of limited in what you could fly and where you could fly.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was free, so it had that going for it.
Well, you say that, but it was free as long as you were happy flying the 3, 4 planes that included.
Oh, when I played it, it was just one plane that was included, maybe
Oh,
two.
right.
But yeah, it was still enjoyable. But it just kind of hard to, you know, sink 100+ hours into a product like that compared to Flight Sim or X-Plane.
Yeah, definitely. Oops, getting ahead of you.
No worries. Oop. Oh, that's why there's an issue. I was going cruise control level 1 instead of cruise control level 2. That was my bad.
There we go. So you mentioned X-Plane there. Have you actually tried it?
I have not. Just because I've always been a Microsoft Flight Simulator fanboy. I've been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator since Flight Simulator for Windows 95. So
I actually had that one as well back in the day.
nice.
It was nice, but I think FSX, you know, the final version is just such a totally different product.
Oh yeah.
It's a world of difference.
And not just graphically either, just in the features.
Mm.
Virtual cockpits for starters, but I guess that falls under graphically.
I'll let you turn round.
The fences don't take too kindly to be knocked down like the shrubs do, unfortunately.
They're not as springy as the bushes, no.
You know, typically I play on large maps, so this will be a bit of a challenge for me finding the optimal way to run a smaller map, or to run on a smaller map.
Yeah, you just can't get the massive machines on here because there just isn't room to maneuver them.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to start looking for some medium-sized mods. Hopefully Dare Tubbers will have some nice ones in his upcoming spotlights. Have you been able to see the Season 3 award show that he's been doing?
No, I haven't watched it yet, actually.
I believe there's 3, maybe 4 episodes that are about 20 minutes to a half hour each, so...
Right, I'll go have a look for those after.
There's it's pretty, or at least I was able to predict how the awards turned out, but it was still nice to watch.
Okay, if I get out of your way again.
But I tell you, it's been quite a while since I've actually used this harvester on a decent-sized field.
Okay. Oh, don't know what happened there. I'm too far away. There we go.
I tell you, this is a lot less, I don't know, tedious with 2 people compared to just 1, though. And we're saving money on those workers that didn't show up.
Alright, All profit margin at the end of the day. Oops. You're right about that fence, though.
Yeah. It's not as good of a sport as those hedges. It's got a bit of pride.
Right, so I think I'm getting the hang of this. Almost.
Practice makes perfect.
There we go.
Nicely done.
If you could see the beads of sweat as I'm concentrating to try and not ram into you.
Who says this game isn't intense?
This is stressful. Okay.
It's funny, you know, Nerd Cubed actually exposed me to Farming Simulator, and I think most people are aware that what his take on it is. But I went and got the game, and in order to, you know, make fun of it, and you know, just to say I had it. But once I actually like played it, I ended up enjoying it. So it's kind of funny how that worked out.
I think it's another one that no one's quite sure. Whoops.
That was I forgot to turn off the missions because we don't have the proper equipment to do them yet.
All right.
So like every 10 minutes or so they're popping up.
Oh. I think this is another one of those games where no one's quite sure why it's such fun, but it just is.
Yeah, I think anyone who has really checked it out has always kind of been at least somewhat curious as to what goes on a farm. So, I mean, I guess it has that aspect going for it. There's nothing else without actually being a farmer, nothing else gives you the idea of what it's like to be a farmer. Besides Agricultural Simulator, but I don't know. I can't really even watch videos of that game because of how vibrant it is. Have you seen any videos on that, Doc?
No, I haven't actually. I've heard some bad reviews of Agricultural Simulator.
I tell you, it has some really nice things going for it, but the colors are just horrendous.
Right.
If you're subscribed to Stockoglaws, a few months ago, maybe even a year ago now, he did a few videos on Agrar Simulator, but then just stopped because it was basically unwatchable.
Right, I'll have a look for those. I'm getting full again, 92%. So maybe just the end of this row, possibly.
Hopefully. It'd be nice to get a bigger tipper. There's one that Dare Tepper's recommended. I'm not sure if we have it installed or not, but that's something I could definitely check on. And I actually know where to get it, so if we don't have it, I can send you a link to download it.
Right.
So have you found any mods that you would like to add to our collection? Or have you just been kind of messing around with what we got?
I've been doing a little messing around with what's on the farm already. Right, I'm at 98%, so I think I will head off and unload.
Sounds like a plan.
Uh, if I can find the way out of this field, there we go. Oh, not through the water. If we had a larger area where I was a bit more involved in getting around from building to building, I'd maybe quite like a sort of a vehicle mod, like a Jeep or something.
I think we have a Jeep.
Cool.
I think. I'm not sure, but
because the golf cart is quite nice, but really, it's hard to catch some air over the jumps. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's just not a Jeep.
Okay.
So I'm a little disappointed with the changes I had to make in order to get the game recordable again. For example, I'm playing on medium settings instead of very high, and recording 720 instead of 1080. But I don't think it'll be that big of a difference on YouTube.
No, I don't think so. Oops.
What software do you use to record, if you don't mind me asking?
I use Bandicam. Where are you?
I'm over at the other end. Yeah, Bandicam is nice. That allows you to record 2 different channels, doesn't it?
It does, yes. I tried both that and Fraps when I was first looking at recording, and to be honest, there wasn't that much between them. I think in the end I went for Bandicam purely because it had the demo that let you record for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Ouch, sorry.
It's alright. Yeah, I used the Bandicam demo a lot when I was first starting. Well, not on this channel, but on my other channel. But now I'm using DX Story.
And how's that work out?
Overall, it's really good, and it seems to be what most quote-unquote serious YouTubers use. Like, a guy that I watch for Skyrim and Fallout videos recommends DX Story. But he also has a quad-core processor compared to my dual-core. So I imagine it works out better for him than it does for me.
I know there's a couple of the Mindcrack YouTubers who use DX Story.
Yeah. It's pretty tweakable and customizable to, you know, what you want, but one thing that I really like about Bandicam is its ability to record a rectangle on the screen, so you can use it for both, like, application recording and desktop recording.
Yes.
So.
Oops, sorry.
No worries.
I'm gonna have to do something about my controls.
So how's the game playing for you with me hosting? Everything alright for you?
Yeah, it's pretty smooth in the vehicles. When we were on foot, I was getting a little bit of judder.
Yeah, me too.
Moving around, but once we got into the tractors, that's all gone away. So
I think that's also just like an animation problem with the game itself, because except in multiplayer, you never see the animations of your character. Where, you know, you're always seeing the animations of the vehicles, so maybe they spent more time on the animations of the vehicles compared to the character.
Optimizing it, possibly, yeah. Okay.
But, I've also got another RAM card coming in the mail, so hopefully that'll help with the recording as well. Because right now I'm just running on 4 gigs of RAM.
Ooh, yeah.
But, upgrading to 8. RAM is more expensive than I remembered it now. I just paid like $45 for 4 gigs of RAM.
Sorry, I just remember back in the day spending £100 on a meg of RAM.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I suppose the last time I actually bought a RAM card, excluding my computer build, was for my laptop, and that was
yeah.
like $25. So my laptop is just a Linux machine now. Just take it to class and take notes on it.
That's a good platform for that.
Well, it had Windows 7 on it, but it started running very badly. So I figured Linux would be easier on the old laptop.
Okay, go again. I think for this little bit here, rather than try and pull alongside you, I think if you just mow it, and then I'll come and collect it afterwards, because, otherwise that's going to keep happening.
Okay, I can do that. See, I can also scoop around like this. Get edge.
Nearly in the stream.
So are you familiar with the steps of harvesting and turning over a field? Like, did the tutorials give you a good idea of the steps required for that?
Yes and no. They kind of go through the steps individually, but didn't really sort of hang together as like a whole concept. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so there are 3 basic steps for turning over a field.
Right.
Well, for getting a field ready for harvest, I should say. First you cultivate the field, and that is, it's an apparatus that's towed behind a tractor, and it churns up the dirt and gets all the nutrients to the top and all the old soil to the bottom, and it just mixes it up. And after that, you sow the seeds, which is what that, the green thing next to the trailer in the shed, that's what that was.
Right.
That was the seeder. And then after you seed it, you fertilize it, and that's what the other green thing was in the shed, was the fertilizer. And then you wait for it to grow, and you harvest it, and, you know, rinse, shampoo, and repeat.
Presumably basically for different crops it's just slight variations, different machinery used.
Really, it's mostly the same machinery used, except when it comes to corn, potatoes, and beets. Everything else follows pretty much the same. Potatoes have their own harvester and their own seeders. Sugar beets and corn share a seeder, I believe.
Right.
But they have different harvesters. And barley, wheat, and canola all use the same equipment.
Right. Okay, we're going to go over to this other side now.
Yeah. And I think it'll be a good stopping point once we finish this field. What do you think?
I think so. It's quite a long recording so far.
Yep. I think it's, what, about 40 minutes worth?
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, this should also be like the longest harvest that we'll have to do, or one of the longest. Once we get a bigger harvester, it won't take nearly as long. Instead of 40 minutes, it'll be cut down to like 15 minutes to harvest a field.
Is that quick?
Well, it also depends on how big you want to go with the machinery. You know, you're the expert on what's normal for the British countryside. So I will defer
Well, I know
to you.
we don't get the huge monster combines that you see in like West Kansas.
Right.
Because we just don't have the room on the fields or on the roads for them. So we can probably find something that's a little bit bigger than this far.
Yeah.
It's still usable.
Even the default harvesters, you know, they're pretty big, but they're not monstrous. I mean, they seem monstrous until you get into some of the mods. But especially the next harvester up is probably a pretty average size, I would think. And its harvesting head is, I think, twice the size of this one.
Well, that'll be a lot quicker then.
Yeah. And then we can get to doing more things in an episode and hopefully be a bit more interesting.
Phew. Precision driving.
You're getting quite good at it.
Yeah, I think I'll have to look into getting a game controller. See if it's any easier.
If I were you, I would stay away from the Xbox brand of controllers, just because they're pretty overpriced. For me, I have an Afterglow brand gamepad, and that was about half the price of a regular Xbox controller.
Right.
So, there's that.
Go generic, basically.
Yeah. And Afterglow itself still has a pretty good reputation for quality. Some people don't like it because my controller is transparent and it has LEDs in it. The LEDs are toggleable, but when the LEDs are on, it will literally make my entire room blue. So.
Oh, look at that. Poetry in motion.
Screenshot.
What do you reckon? 2 more lines and that should do it?
2, 3 at the most, yeah. I tell you, the biggest pain for me with my computer crash was losing my flight simulator data, because it is going to take a while to get everything reinstalled and working nicely again, tweaking my configuration and getting back to where we were in FS Passengers.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah, it might, even if the recording is working, it might be a few weeks before we can get back into FS Passengers, but I'm thinking of a secondary flight sim series to kind of hold us over, I might like do a playthrough of the missions that come with Flight Sim.
All right.
And I actually left my install disk of Flight Sim at my house, but rather than waiting, like, you know, going to go get it and coming back, I just ordered a new one. So I now have Flight Simulator Gold instead
cool.
of just, or the deluxe, you know.
Oh, I'm full. That's why I'm not picking any more up.
Yep, that'll do it.
So I'll go tip this off.
Well, it might be more than 3 lines down at this end. Yeah,
because it widens up a little bit at the end, doesn't it?
Yep. That's that interesting field shape. You know, harvesting this also got me thinking. I typically harvest lines because that's what's efficient for like the larger plots of field and for the square plots of field. But for this map, it might be beneficial to like go around the perimeter and like keep working inward.
Yeah, possibly. I think in real life most British farmers do lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think back of all the ploughed fields I've seen. I've never seen one done as a spiral. But I think they might segment the field up a little bit more. So like do a quarter of it, you know, going one way, and then maybe another quarter going another. Depending on the shape.
Gotcha. So maybe next time we can slice it into more manageable rectangles.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as small farm maps go, I think this one's definitely my favorite.
It is rather nice, isn't it?
And NI Modding has made a lot of equipment to go with it as well, so I'm not sure if we have all of their stuff installed or not, but they do have some really nice stuff for small farms.
Okay. A little bit to do it back up at the top.
Yep. Oh, nope, go forward, please. Thank you. I was thinking of uninstalling the Long Castle map. Purely because it's, that map adds some more fruit types. But those fruit types aren't compatible with any other map. So, like, when we're using the cedar, you'll get options that are, you know, beyond just grass, wheat, barley, canola. And I think it'll let you plant them, but I don't think it'll let you harvest them, and it definitely won't let you store them or sell them anywhere.
All right.
So, just to...
Oh, sorry, again.
It's all good. But, yeah, just to prevent the confusion with that, I was thinking of taking that out of my mod list. Alright, the end is in sight.
And the way I'm driving, that may be in more ways than one. There we go.
So yeah, I also think that we also own a field of grass. So we could...
I think there's a couple, actually.
Yeah. I think we could get into sheep breeding and sheep care relatively soon. certainly much sooner than cows. And that's a good way to make some extra money.
Sheep. I think that sounds like a plan. Definitely.
Excellent.
One thing I would definitely like to plant at some point is a field of potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes are definitely a good crop to have too. They can be slightly annoying in the early game because of the specialized equipment required.
Yeah.
And then if you get the cheap harvesting equipment, that only harvests one row at a time. So like literally one potato at a time is picked up.
Ouch.
Yeah. But once you get to the bigger machinery that cost a small fortune, it's quite nice. You get a lot of potatoes per field.
So maybe later in the game, when we've got a bit of money behind us.
Yeah. Though, the sugar beet initial equipment is not bad at all. I'm actually using that in my single player Let's Play.
Right. Nearly done. One more, maybe.
I'd count on 2.
Okay.
Just about finished, though. I think this harvester is pretty much everybody's most despised vehicle in this game, though.
Ah, I think it looks nice.
Oh yeah, it looks nice. It's just a pain to use.
I think I'll wait for you to finish that patch.
I missed some slight bits, but we can just run over that with the cultivator and it'll be okay. Alright, that is this field finished. So let's unload and park up the equipment and call the episode.
Okay. I'll go over, unload this trailer.
I'll let you go ahead of me because you're faster. So, oh, you're taking a different road. That works too.
I can off-road. Well, we've managed to go a whole episode without me being hopelessly hung up on a wall or fence or something.
Ah, don't curse it. Don't curse it.
No, it's all right. I'm in the shed now. There's nothing that can go wrong. Famous last words. So I'm going to call this episode a success.
Oh, and as I run into the shed.
Why are you so noob?
I can't help it. Alright. Oh, I'll get out of your way there. Let's see. We started with 17,000 wheat and we ended with 37,000. 20,000 wheat in an episode? Not bad. Alright, well, thanks for joining me, Dr. V. This was definitely much more fun than single player. And,
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us, YouTube. Until next time, I'm AShadowbox.
And I'm Dr. Vesuvius.
This has been Farming Simulator 2013, and have a good one, guys.